Hi, my name is Bashar Taqi, and today we'll be talking about our API management tool, where you can manage your API token, look at the usage rate, and follow the clear documentation that we have on both Postman and Swagger to configure and integrate this API with any existing solution that you have. On this main page, you'll be able to see what tokens you have already created by clicking this drop-down box here, and you can create and manage new API tokens as well. You can also see the API usage rate, how many calls you have actually and requests you have actually made, as well as your remaining calls from the limits. So in this case, this account has no limit on the API calls, and that's why you see the infinite API calls remaining. So let's go ahead and configure and manage a new API token. So by clicking this button, it'll take you to the next page. Once you get on this page, you'll be able to see any tokens that you'll have already created. So in this case, I have not created any. But when we're done generating a new token, you'll be able to see some data populated here. So clicking the Generate New Token button will take you to the configuration step that we need to generate our token. On this page here, you can add in the token that you need, as well as manage the permissions that are allowed by the API. So let's name this one a Demo API. So you can configure the permissions as in what features can be accessible through the API. So for example, I would like to have, in my case, all of the permissions available, so I can have access fully to all the features provided by this API. Once that's done, I can click the Save button, and that will generate my token. Once the creation is complete, you'll be able to see your token generated on the page here, and you can have more than one token where you can manage that as well. These are all personal access tokens, which in this case can be used as OAuth access tokens as well, and can be used instead of password as mentioned down here, or it can be used to authenticate to the API over the basic authentication. So once you have this token generated, you can simply insert that to your actual code base as a variable so that you can actually start utilizing and configuring the API integration. In our Postman documentation, you'll be able to see clearly identified and clearly documented features and endpoints that are categorized based on whether you are an MSSP or an end user. Take an example. Under the end user APIs, they are all categorized by feature. So for example, I'd like to set up the alerting endpoint. I can go to the Get Alerts configuration page and tell me the exact get that I would need to configure, and then the parameters that are associated with it. Another example is, so let's look at a post. To actually get the alerts, we would have to configure this post to receive the alerts. To talk about the MSSP APIs, we actually have them as an MSSP end user or an MSSP management. So if you are an admin of an MSSP account, you are able to actually configure any one of these. So for example, let's say you want to create a new admin, you can configure this exact post to get that in, where you'll actually see on the right hand side here example requests as well as example responses. The Swagger documentation works in a similar way, where we have them based on feature. So we can see that we have the aggregate reports, the customer reports. One thing to note about this is that there will be different endpoint for customers and MSSPs, or end users and MSSPs, as you can see. So some are highlighted by customers, whereas some will be V1, depending on the use case. So just taking the first post as an example, if you click on it, it will expand, where you'll be able to see the parameters, number of pages, for example. You will get the example value here in the request body, and you will see the response, the code response, as well as the JSON that you will be receiving. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this, and I wish you a happy implementation. Thank you.